Comrades, fellow anti-fascists of all stripes, political ideologies, and lines, I'd like to urge you, your organization, your affinity group, your fellow party members, all those whose energies and bodies are needed in the revolutionary socialist struggle for the liberation of mankind, to stay away from your state's capital and Washington, D.C. during the possible fascist insurrection forthcoming, leading up to and including imperialist Biden and Harris's inauguration on the 20th. As we know, there were 2 pipe bombs placed in D.C. during the fascist siege on the Capitol building. The recent bombing in Nashville was the result of a man who believed in and perpetuated anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Fascism and the use of terrorist tactics has and always will go hand in hand. We do not need to get caught between the capitalist state targets and the fascist bombs. We would be better served if we had the capabilities to organize patrols in marginalized communities, houseless encampments, and other places split off groups from the fascist events often go to harass and commit hate crimes against the poor, against people of color, against the LGBTQ community, against women, against the elderly, against youth, and others. I'm sure there are plenty of other productive ideas as well that you all have that can keep us out of the state versus fascist crossfire while still being productive anti-fascists. We do not need to put our bodies between the fascists and the pigs. Let them fight it out if they wish. The state will most likely respond with much more force than they did at the Stop the Steal event recently. We do not need to be in that crossfire. This is not our battle, and isn't it likely that if our people are there, that we will provide the fascists and the cops with a common enemy with which to unite against, as has happened over and over throughout the country. Let them pepper spray and shoot and attack each other. We need you, comrades. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and we can't lose our people to unnecessary violence and unnecessary state charges in D.C. and your state's capital in a fight between the state and the fascists. After this, the fascists will lose human resources because many of them are going to be on the run, in state custody, the hospital, or the morgue, depending on how this goes. Or they show up and they embarrass themselves because the paper tigers can't muster enough adventurous to actually follow through with their continuation of a failed coup, attempt, and possible ongoing insurrection. Either way this goes, this is going to cost them in the long run, giving us the opportunity and the advantage to build our organizations, build our power, as theirs is at least temporarily destroyed and put into disarray or left to fracture and infight in the face of complete failure to achieve any momentum or to turn out for their million militia march and other such events. And I'm not saying that we need to ignore them either. We need to pay very close attention now more than ever before. After all, Hitler and many of his cronies were imprisoned by the German state for treason after a failed coup, before he and the Nazi Party took power years later. The threat of fascism is not going away. But we need to take advantage of this opportunity while our enemies have each other in their sights to strategically and as quickly as possible to build and organize our revolutionary workers' organizations, mass orgs, parties, and our united front against fascism. To learn, to train, to educate, to agitate, and to reach the masses and raise class consciousness. To connect for people the relationship between capitalism and fascism, to study ourselves and relate to the people the class nature of fascism. Because even if all the fascists are slaughtered, every last one of them, capitalism is still in decay. Fascism is still approaching. It's not if, it's when. Our only salvation, our only road to victory over fascism is in socialist revolution. This is why we need each and every one of you to stay safe and stay free and stay away from DC and your state's capital over the next week. Thank you, comrades. If you have any criticisms at all, disagree, or if you have more to say on this topic, please leave a comment. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your social media. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more anti-fascist and Marxist-Leninist content. Thank you.